truly excited to welcome you again for the fourth consecutive time. As Tom said, we like the fact that you come here and we get to showcase every innovation that is underway that we work on for the year and then showcase it to you. This time is no different. We have a really packed agenda. We're going to do some technology previews, a demo, and as well as we have a couple of surprises for you. As we always do, we like to announce right here in front of you every time for the first time. So we're going to unveil two things today for the very first time in front of this audience. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to talk about and give you a state of Nuage, where things are at, the platform, how our customers are adopting the platform. It's been 2.5 years since Nuage has been in the market, and we clearly have a tremendous amount of experience having been steeped into this industry, especially with regards to SDN for the last 4.5 years. And as we have engaged with customers, as we've uncovered new use cases, we have discovered new use cases and problems to solve along with our customers. So I'm going to give you a bit of insight into how our customers are adopting our platform. What are some of the things that are critically important to them? Why is it that they actually are looking at a platform like Nuage as they modernize their whole IT infrastructure, as they see the requirement of operational simplicity and business agility? So how are they adopting the Nuage platform? I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm going to make our first announcement, which is going to be the first time, as I said, in front of you guys and your audience. Right after that, Hari Krishnan, who leads and has the mandate of security for the Nuage Virtualized Services platform, is going to talk a little bit about, have a good discussion on what it is that makes our platform rather unique and interesting to sort of provide for effortless governance of security policies and security capabilities that are either inherent in the Nuage platform or are available through technology integration with some of the security partners that we have. And he's going to do a tech preview of some capabilities that you're going to see for the first time. Following Hari, Harmeet Sahni, who has the mandate for containers for the Virtualized Services platform, is going to show some of the capabilities, some of the advanced capabilities that we are shipping already. You'll recall that 2 years ago, when we were hosting you guys, we actually did a demo of showing 100,000 containers come up in Amazon with everything networked together, with all policies installed and instantiated in under 10 minutes with the capability that we provide. Since then, there's lots of advanced capabilities that we've added. Customers are already using that capability, and Harmeet is going to go through and talk about how we are doing that integration. All right, so lots to cover. So without further ado, let me just launch. When we started Nuage, the thesis was that we wanted to build a network automation platform for allowing for any workload, either in the private or the public data center, in either of the hypervisor environments, to be connected to the network quickly, instantaneously, based on a policy as soon as it came up, as soon as it was instantiated. And so the Virtualized Services platform is our network automation platform that we've built. It has 3 components. The first one is the Virtualized Services Directory. This is really the policy server, then policy engine. This is where you define all the service templates. This is also has very rich analytics capabilities using Elasticsearch. It has the capability to really provide for that authentication, authorization, and then verification of all the workloads as they come up and be instantiated based on the policy and service definition. The next one is the Virtualized Services Controller. The Virtualized Services Controller is our SDN controller. It runs a very rich routing OS. This OS is something that we have leveraged from our 7750 routing platform, which has been in the industry for over 15 years now. It's really a rich, multi-service routing platform that is deployed in over 500 service provider networks around the globe. That is the same OS that we leverage and use as a part of our SDN controller. Finally, the data plane. The data plane, when it comes to the private cloud or private DC, is the enhanced OVS. We call this offer Virtualized Cloud Services offer. And when the data plane is a network services gateway, which is available, it's an x86 platform or a virtualized platform that can be installed on any off-the-shelf x86 cloud platform, is the NSG that provides SD-WAN capabilities. This is rather unique to Nuage because with one platform, we are able to serve both the software-defined data center as well as an automation in that, as well as for the SD-WAN capability. And this really sets us apart because what we believe, the high order bit being that to connect diverse set of users anywhere to applications that might be hosted either in private or public cloud. And that's what we allow with our platform to do in a highly automated manner. Here's the way the evolution of the platform has been. You've got the virtualized services directory and the virtualized services controller. With open APIs, we have provided integration into OpenStack, CloudStack, as well as VMware vCenter. And down below, we support many versions of different platforms, VTEPs, that we have announced. In fact, we are one of the first ones to show you the VTEP integration here during 2 NFDs ago. And likewise, multi-hypervisor support. We support virtualized workloads in KVM, Xen, Hyper-V, as well as ESXi. All those workloads, virtualized workloads, are supported right from day one. We added the SD-WAN capability, which we call our offer called Virtualized Network Services. And when it comes to virtualized network services, again, as I said, it's the same capability when it comes to virtualized services directory and virtualized services controller. The only thing that changes is the data plane, which is the x86 NSG that we call the NSG. We subsequently added the container support. This was 2 years ago that we added the container support. Same automation framework. No change to the automation framework. Same exact automation framework. Container support with all the ecosystem capability, and that's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear how we've done the integration with Kubernetes and how we're providing advanced networking in that environment. We didn't forget the operational aspect of managing, deploying, monitoring a network, that software-defined network, with this new platform. What that means is the Virtualized Services Assurance Platform was the industry first in the way we provided the correlation between the overlays and the actual infrastructure. If there's a fault in the infrastructure, we quickly correlate that to the overlays and are able to pinpoint which overlays are the ones that are impacted as a result of the fault, whether a link failure, whether a port down on a switch or a router, because that's the capability that we've been providing, critically important. It also can allow you to do modeling of when there is an upgrade coming up. You can actually figure out the impact and do the impact analysis way before the upgrades, just so that you can understand the blast radius, if you will, of if the upgrade were to go not so well, what does that mean? Who is going to be impacted? Who needs to be notified? What overlays, what services are impacted as a result? We also added hybrid cloud connectivity. This is the ability to have exactly the same policies that you have and the IT admin or the network admins have in the private cloud, but be also applied to the workloads in the public cloud. Because normally what you have is you have segmented and isolated islands of automation. And what we've done is, with this sort of a platform and architecture, we've allowed for a very seamless and very consistent and very uniform capabilities all through, whether it is bare metal workloads, whether it's virtualized workloads in any environment, whether it's containers, whether it's branch, whether you want to connect to workloads in AWS or any public cloud. And then finally, because we have this platform and the capability, we're sitting in a very unique position in the network, being that we see all the traffic of the end workloads going through the virtual switch, if you will. And we are sitting in that position where we can monitor the traffic and provide some very interesting capabilities in allowing customers to really do some effortless security governance. And that's what you're going to see today. Hari is going to talk about that. That's one of the big unveils that we're going to do today. Ultimately, as I said, it's getting the networking out of the way in order for applications to be quickly instantiated on any environment, private, public, it doesn't matter. It's a very unique offer in the way we have built this architecture and the platform. It allows us to do these and offer these capabilities. Customers in various environments and various use cases have adopted this. When you were here last year, almost exactly a year ago, we had approximately 25 customers and about 85 pilot live deployments. Today we are at 70 plus wins and deployments in various different verticals. We have over 170 pilot deployments. In financial services, we are very strong. These are some of the public names we are disclosing here, obviously. Santander is very interesting. Santander has properties all over Europe. We are in multiple data centers in Europe and now expanding into Cala, providing for automation for their private cloud deployments in an OpenStack environment. In terms of healthcare and insurance, Mutua is one of the wins that we have had, one of the first insurance wins in Spain. This is interesting. This is an ESXi environment, largely. So you can see the different use case here. ESXi environment, full automation of all workloads in ESXi environment. In technology, gaming, and entertainment, Betfair and Samsung. Betfair is a very interesting, it's online gambling based in UK, one of the largest online gambling companies in UK. What they are is truly a very advanced DevOps shop. They live and breathe DevOps. Everything that they do, everything, is all through a CI/CD pipeline. It's continuous integration, and what that means is that they are leveraging the Nuage APIs, the VSPK, that we have open sourced last year. They're leveraging that for various different things that they do. They keep on changing their environment almost every day because they are truly a DevOps shop. They have, just to give you an example of the scale of Betfair, they have over 150 million transactions in a day on their infrastructure, over 2.5 billion API calls on their infrastructure in a day. That's the kind of environment that they have. Nuage is deployed in production in that environment. And one of the reasons, of course, is the continuous integration and the ability to change the infrastructure on the fly and make sure that the networking is always there automatically, no matter how the workloads come up. Some top cloud providers. I'm going to highlight some of some of the older names, early customers. CCS Group is an interesting one. They're using our VNS offer, which is the SD-WAN offer, to provide for their customers, the enterprise customers, branch connectivity through the automated framework that we have, and then allow them to access applications in public cloud. Service providers, here I'd like to highlight China Telecom, but more importantly, China Mobile. We have over 1,200 servers in various different properties. You're talking about over 15,000 virtual machines already in production, deployed in various different data centers. Very, very large scale, as you might imagine, China Mobile and China Telecom cloud company. So various different use cases. MyRepublic is an ISP in Asia Pac. They're very interesting because they are an ISP. They don't actually have their own network infrastructure. But in Asia Pac, they are providing SD-WAN services over the top and highly successful already. They have multiple customers that are already using our VNS to have branch connectivity. Now, one of the comments that we've always gotten from our customers is they want more capabilities, ability to really quickly integrate. And so right from early days, one of the things that we've done is we've done and build the platform in a way that we provide complete open API infrastructure on the virtualized services directory. And that allows for customers to have full API integration done. But as you know, last year, for the first time, in front of you guys, we unveiled and announced the open source of our VSPK on Git. So we provided that SDK in Go and Python for our customers to be able to develop tools on top of the Nuage VSP. And Betfair is a great example. Betfair uses VSP, so does BBVA. BBVA, in fact, is also using our capability that we offer to connect to the workloads in AWS. But in addition to that, what you might not know is that we also participate in many open source projects. We contribute. And these are open source projects such as OVS, as well as OpenStack, as well as Docker. And we're soon going to start contributing in and applying our capability that we have, but what we offer and what, as a result of our discussions with customers, what capabilities we develop, we are going to contribute that back to the community. We also participate heavily in ITF and IEEE and have done that for a long time. In terms of the capabilities that we provide southbound, we have integration with various different VTEPs, as I talked about. We also have integration with many technology partners in terms of firewall vendors, as well as ADCs or load balancers. But there's more. Always there's more you can do. One of the challenges our customers have always said is, how can we quickly test what we do against the Nuage platform in an environment that is isolated? How can we validate what we are doing against an environment that we can quickly get? Some of the prospective customers have wondered, how can we actually kick the tires on Nuage? Today, it's not possible until you engage with us and you actually come in and do a proper pilot and live deployment. Well, I'm here to say that that's going to change from today. What we are announcing is something what we are calling as Nuage X. Nuage X is Nuage Experience. And what it is the ability to trial, validate, develop, test on a Nuage platform for free. You can set up this entire Nuage platform, which is the VSD and VSC, for your use instantly through a wizard, very quickly. The idea is to have that entire setup done in less than 10 minutes. You can deploy your VRSs and be connected to the VSD, VSC instance in less than 10 minutes. And this is available for free, and that's what we are announcing today. So we are taking the next step, if you will, in terms of removing the friction, if you will, for our customers to be able to, as I said, validate. Betfair is a classic example. What they do is they are continuously developing their orchestration system, and they're using it currently with our latest release. Well, how do they, with the next release that come out, how do they make sure that that orchestration and the API calls are going to be consistent and not change? They can very quickly go in and use Nuage X, get their own environment, get their own setup, and validate that. Prospective customers can just very quickly do this, and the way they do this is, as I said, it's free. Get a free account, log in to Nuage X, and once you log into Nuage X, you can view and select the labs that are already pre-made and available. These, of course, can be customized, and we have two modes. There's a novice mode, there is an expert mode, and you can basically view and select the lab that you want. Once you do that, you push a button, and everything gets auto-deployed. The VSD and VSC for your use and dedicated for you is immediately deployed, and then you get the ability to auto-install VRS on your host. And you can have either a container workload or a virtualized workload. And once you do that, everything is, you don't have to type a single command. Everything is done automatically, and it gets connected to the VSD VSC. The only requirement is you need a public IP to be able to connect to the VSD VSC. And then you just run. You instantiate the VM or container-based workloads and run your test workloads and start testing. Start experiencing Nuage.
When will this be live?
I'm glad you asked. It's going to be live. It'll go live almost a week before OpenStack. We're timing it to OpenStack Barcelona. So just a week before OpenStack Barcelona, this is going to go live. We are already using this for almost a year internally. And it's available. In fact, you'll see both the tech preview and the demo that you're going to see is going to leverage this platform, the Nuage X platform today. So it's already there, but it's going to be publicly available just a week before Barcelona. So here are some of the use cases. What you have is the VSD VSC deployed in the Nuage DC. And then you have the ability to have containers or virtualized workloads from your private DC connected to the VSD VSC. Again, completely free, the entire setup. And you can have multiple of these, or from AWS or from any of the public clouds, GCE, Azure, or SoftLayer. You can have bare metal servers in SoftLayer or AWS be connected back to the VSD VSC. Again, do the full automation testing. And that is the date. That's when we are going to launch it, 10/16/16. When we launch Nuage X, it is something that we have already showcased to our customers, and customers have given us really superb feedback in terms of, again, being able to deploy, validate, test, and develop on top of this platform. And it's certainly something that is also going to be very valuable for our prospective customers to really get Nuage experience before we engage with them in terms of other capabilities that we might have.